I am always putting off going to the gym by telling myself that I'll make a video. But anyway, over the weekend I had my niece and my son with me, and I was paying attention to how they're small children. My niece is 7 years old and my son is 4, so they're small children, still very much learning. And I was just paying attention to how difficult it is for them to regulate their ridiculousness. Very difficult for them to regulate their ridiculousness, right? And as children, it's funny, to me at least. And I give them guidance on how to get along with each other and how to regulate their own, how they're feeling about certain things. And I realized after they had gone back to their home, or my son went back to his dad's house and my niece went back to her dad's house, I realized that the missing link in these generations of grown-ups, or adults as we are calling them for some reason, is that no one stopped them in their years of unregulated ridiculousness. No one stopped them and held a standard to them of how they need to be acting. So those years of not regulating that ridiculousness leads to them being ridiculous adults. So we have a bunch of women who are ridiculous adults, a bunch of men who are ridiculous adults, because when they were ridiculous children, which is expected of a child, ridiculous children, that can be corrected. But once you get to an adult, it's nobody's responsibility to correct that anymore. But the problem is, not only are parents not correcting that, but parents are basically putting their children in a situation and mindset where they feel like no adult can tell them anything. And if that is the case, that child does not have community. That is the purpose of community. It is to build up your child in the way that they should be, to reinforce the habits and the mindset that they should have. And if nobody can tell them right from wrong, they don't have that. And then they end up being adults and being ridiculous and having to go through whatever process, whether it be through therapy, spiritual discipline, whatever it is. And I'm much more so a proponent for spiritual discipline than therapy, but they'll have to go through that process as an adult that really takes years. That's why childhood is so long. It takes years to get rid of that ridiculousness. The Bible says foolishness is laid up in the heart of a child. You should not still be foolish at 35, 40, 45, 50 years old. You should have gotten that out. Your parents and your community should have gotten that out of you by the time you become an adult, by the time you're considered an adult. But we have made this habit of considering people adults just because they reached an age and not because they reached a stage. Ooh. So I'm going to go to the gym with my adult self and think more about this, because, wow. Catch yourself. If you're ridiculous, catch yourself in your ridiculousness. It's not cute. It's not, the ghetto-ness, the ratchetness. It's all ridiculousness. It's all lasciviousness, and it all needs to be corrected so that we can move forward. That's all we're trying to do.